John Diamond make the billion logo.
Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299. It's wicked as hell. Arresting a man for nothing, got him sitting in jail. Look down on us, call us niggas when they niggas themselves. Supposed to show them the way, instead they showed them a cell. Fuck nigga, how the fuck is you a man of the Lord? You pull up with white boys and you put niggas in the back of the car, but you wouldn't last a day in their yard with all them killers, them lions and them tigers and them bears and them gorillas. Try to convince a nigga to snitch on his own brother. Beware the purple Israelite group, they undercover, so pussy ass nigga. Regretting that bitch, tell him take off that badge and I'll bat him in his shit. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299. False doctrine, a nigga that shot that tranny. The dick pic, the fake pictures on social media, you posing as bitches. The murder on John Morgan, how her body came up missing. That scheming nigga cannot stealing that brother bitch. The marching for the rich, but don't do nothing for the poor. The shit them niggas tried on the Kansas City boat. Them purple niggas tried that same bullshit before. Cap told them bitch if I'm a hoe, then treat me like a hoe. Michelle told them they lightweight, they packed up all they shit. Fuck wrong with you, boy, we meant a war around this bitch. Undercover ass, purple badge, and Easter ass bitch. We know cowards on the men prepared to die around this bitch. You heard? Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299. Crooked officer, can you get these fucking handcuffs off for us? They got a lot of innocent niggas doing time. Beware, cricket cop badge number 2299.
You broke off and created something. God deserves that we stand with him and walk forward. ISUBK, we strong. We ain't weak. No, bitch.
That's right, sir.
That's how we.
Make sure should be straight. Should be good to go. Go ahead, clap it up. Rabbi Shmuel Shabbat Police Officer Yaramat 1000 Yaramat, reporting in from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Shout out to Officer Awabad out from Fayetteville, North Carolina, who done blessed us with this good strong. You understand? Most High in Christ. The water for that. Salaga. I'm over here spinning stuff. Right? Salaga let me do this. All right, the water to the brother joining us, the water to the sisters. The water to the sisters, the water to the brother joining in. This is a nice scripture breakdown. So we about to get him, just jump right into it. So with that being said, questions online, questions on the chat, questions on the Instagram.
Lock, sir.
Come on, if you got a question in the room, right? Question in the room, to make sure you raise your hand. I'm gonna call on you, sisters, brothers, or the same. I will buy. Is waters in the room, and brother, I'm gonna come right to you. Is it waters in the somewhere in the spot in the gym, or did you not see none?
No,
I mean, if I could, or you got me one. It's a lot. It's enough for everybody. Yeah. Anybody that need water, you know, y'all go ahead and get water. It's hot, you understand? So go ahead and to it. Right? But questions, go ahead.
So I had a question in Matthew 7, chapter 7. You want me to read it, sir?
You can read it.
It's Matthew chapter 7, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
It says, beware of false prophets,
Mm-hmm.
which come to you in sheep,
Mm-hmm.
but inwardly they are raving wolves.
All right, so the better question is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Say, you false prophets. All right? First of all, who's speaking here?
Like, sir. Christ.
This is Lord. Christ, Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Understand in Hebrew. He's speaking here. He said, beware of you false prophets. Like, he giving a warning. He giving a warning to the people because Christ knew what? That throughout time, we was going to need him. Right? Throughout time, we was going to need him. We was going to need his works. We was going to need his quotes, his teachings, what he did. But he wasn't always going to be here.
Right.
So Christ, before he left, he gave us instruction on how to live, what to do, not to do, what to look for, and what to beware of. And so in verse 15, he said, beware of false prophets, meaning everybody on this earth isn't going to seek gain by being a drug dealer. Everybody on this earth isn't going to seek gain by being a murderer. And by what I mean by seeking gain, I mean seeking power, seeking money, seeking wealth. They weren't going to seek it by being homosexual. Not everyone. You understand? But there is a certain type of brother that you got to beware of, a certain type of cat that you got to look out for, because he's going to come to you in sheep's clothing. And of course, the nation of Israel is what? The laws, what? What is the nation of Israel as it pertains to an animal? Are we the laws, lions of the children of Israel? Laws, dogs? What are we? I'm going to let the sister answer. The nation of Israel is the laws what? As it pertains to an animal. Yeah, name the animal. The 12 tribes of the nation of Israel is the lost what? Anybody else want to take a shot? There's no sweat, sis. True.
Yeah.
Come on.
Salami, sir.
I mean, Salagi, not Trooper. Damn. Salagi, young man. Come on.
It's like, sir, the law.
To the truth, when you try to find the way of the Lord, you come into the truth, you humble. You understand? Your neck is bowed. You understand? You ready to receive the. And the men that Christ is talking about here, they're dressed like you. They ain't gonna come to you like I'm everything. Well, I'm this or I'm that. Sometimes they come to you in sheep and all black. Sometimes they come in all black eyed.
Right.
Sometimes they come in all black, and sometimes they do their 90 days I will buy. Sometimes they do it. Sometimes they say kind of one kind.
Right.
Sometimes they say Barakataya Hawaya Hawasha.
Right.
Sometimes they do it. They come in sheep's clothing. Sometimes I will buy it. Sometimes they do it. But then after some time goes by, what do they do? I will buy it. Come on. And what's their real color?
They're wolf.
Purple.
Right. Right. Color.
They'll show you their real color.
Right.
And their real color is purple.
That's right.
They'll come in here and they'll say, Shalom, Yahweh Shabrakatah. So you don't understand the real language is Hebrew, the Lashwan Kodash. And then they'll even join and create some purple. But that the last one it ain't about that. You understand? It's about shalom, going to Africa and learning the language of the Africans. You understand? But they'll put the attire of sheep's clothing. They'll come to you in garments with fringes, studs, and with and whatever the hell else they put on, or what else they put on in the purple group. You understand? But they'll come to you in that clothing in the name of the Lord. But Christ is saying, beware of them that come to you in sheep's clothing. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep clothing. But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
But inwardly, what does that mean?
Like I said, that was kind of like my question, like what that means. Like I was trying to understand these false prophets and how they coming and what's going to show nowadays. And it says the ravening wolves attribute. Correct, sir?
It is. What does it mean?
It's a lot. I don't know.
Let's see. Ravening wolves, the definition, someone who is ravening is ferociously hungry, like an animal, a ravening monster, and a horror film hunts for its prey for food, while a ravening wolf is fierce and hunger. You understand? You can also use ravening to describe someone who acts wild or brutish in other ways. So what does that mean? If someone acts wild or brutish in his ways, what does that mean? How do you relate that to what this is talking about? What's the captain's name that just beat up his own man? Hosea? Captain Hosea just beat his own soldier. Right? And they would have soldier, Captain Hosea of the IUIC just beat soldier Titus half to death with a the definition says, while a rage is fierce and brutal in its hunger. You can also use ravening to describe someone who acts wild or brutish in other ways. So, who are ravening wolves? Sis? Yeah, she's absolutely right. Your oppressor is your ravening wolves. Why? Because your oppressor comes to you clothed and they harmless. Right. You understand? They seem like they won't hurt anyone, like they are just friendly. But their intentions is not to save you. You understand? How do you know that their intentions is not to save you? Just on a small scale, how do you know? I'm gonna see if one of y'all can get this. I'm gonna see how you know. It's like a telltale sign of how you know, damn, they was never here to save us in the first place. How you know? That's rough, ain't it? This will save your life. In some cases.
It's a lot, sir.
Come on, raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'm gonna come to you. Go ahead.
No brotherhood is.
Think about it. They come to you in wolf and sheep's clothing. How do you know? I mean, sheep's clothing. It's rough, ain't it?
Are we describing?
I mean, you can describe my answer, but the descriptions I begin, they come to you in sheep's clothing. How do you know they was never here for you in the first place? Nobody else wanted to take a shot. Because they came to you in sheep's clothing. And this goes over your head, huh? You don't get it. They on purpose made themselves look like you. They on purpose made themselves look harmless. Imagine, do the priests in the Israel UPK make themselves look harmless? Bitch, no. Bitch, no. Do we look like we cater to women? Do we look like we give a fuck if this Bitch, shut your mouth. If you are some drug addict, man, who think you're going to come in here and smoke weed in here, homosexual, no. No. In here because you're homosexual. You can't do it. So log into the YouTube, but you can't do it. In the Israelite School of UPK, do we cater to the Pride Month? No, we don't. Do we cater your feelings, your expectations? Do we give a fuck if 30,000 of you march with us? None of us do. We don't. But in the Israelite School, in the IUIC, they care. They care about having 800 men. They care about having 8,000 men. And because of them caring about 8,000 men, they have to dress themselves in sheep's clothing. They have to be harmless. I remember the first time I remember when I was first coming into the truth. This was about 7 years ago. I wish Mahayar was here right now. Mahayar would tell you. This was about seven or 8 years ago. And I remember this is where there was no camp in Raleigh, no camp in Fayetteville, no camp in Gold. There was no goals, but there was none of that. It was only North Carolina, Charlotte. That was it. And they didn't even have a school yet. It was just only a camp. And me and Mahayar, we would go out there to that camp every Saturday. We had got there particularly early. And we were still kind of like young men / troopers at the time. Like we was like right there to like, yeah, we about to be troopers. You feel me? We was there. We did our time. And I remember we got there early to the camp spot. And we was like, ain't nobody was here. So we had rolled down and we seen IUIC. And we were like, yo, them cats that they was talking about. I was like, yeah, you know, they some punks, man. Let's do it. All right, you feel me? Let's go do it. But y'all like, nah, let's go ask them a question. Let's go ask them who the devil is. So we went up there, we listened, and they called on us, right? They go, you have a question? We like, so who is the devil that the Bible speaks of? And they said, I'll lie to you not. They took the microphone and said, you know, the white man is the devil. They whispered that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And I knew right then, well, I knew before then, right then, like that was not the place for me. Them was not the brothers for me because they were scared to go to put the clothing of a lion on. Right. They were scared because sheep gets devoured without his protection. Well, the Israelite School of UPK, keep reading. Come on.
But inwardly, they are ravening wolves.
But inwardly, they are ravening wolves, right? There's nothing wrong with being harmless. There's nothing wrong with being and beguile and getting power and authority over different countries and just wanting to follow the law, statutes, commandments, and just, you know, wanting to live that life. There's nothing wrong with that. You perfectly fine. But you have to be careful because there are men who will dress like you, who will look like you, who will talk like you talk, who will do the things that you do, but inwardly, they have to kill you. They have to. And by killing you, I mean more so like this, right? Let's say this brother right here. What's your name?
Young man Lorenzo.
Let's say young man Lorenzo, right? Let's say young man Lorenzo is coming to the truth. And young man Lorenzo is sincere. But I'm a raven and wolf. And I'm dressed in sheep's clothing. And so young Lorenzo looks to me. He says, okay, that's a brother I can talk to. I can get with. You understand? I'm losing my friends in the world. Maybe I can gain him as a friend. Maybe I can kick it with him at his crib and drink with him, you know, and just, you know, kick it with him. And young man Lorenzo, he looks at me, he thinks that I'm that brother. Let's say I'm really in my heart. I really want to open up my own school. I want to be in the Israelite School of UPK. But then young man Lorenzo, I start teaching him things that go against what's being taught here. things that go against what's being taught by Commander Janine Hanna. And because young man Lorenzo was so sincere, his sincerity is only looking for a brother. He's just looking for a brother that he can call a brother, a friend that he can call a friend. Because I'm being a friend, because I'm being a brother, he follows me. But the only way I could get Lorenzo to follow me is Lorenzo.
So like you said, being a wolf in sheep clothing.
And being a wolf in sheep clothing means what for you?
I'm the prey.
And for you being the prey to me being a predator, get you to follow me means that I have to what to you? For time's sake, I have to destroy you. I have to. Like a wolf destroys its predators. I mean, its prey. Like a predator destroys its prey, I have to destroy you. The women who come in the truth, the only way they get you to follow them is they have to destroy you. And how do they destroy you? Girl, you got how many wives? 3? Girl, you need to come over here. I heard of this Israelite group that they wear all purple, and you can only have one wife in there. They have to destroy you, which is why every time they talk about the truth, they try to find what? Its flaws. No one ever talks. This is what I want you to understand. No one talks about the truth. Understand that. Just get that. No woman ever goes to a man. I mean, no woman ever goes to another married man and says, girl, your husband is in a cult. You know why? Because when he speaks about eating pork, that's a sin. No woman ever does that. They never to the truth. They all find what is a flaw in your mind. What they think is a flaw in your mind. Otherwise, we would just debate the truth. Name the one thing that Israelites don't, that the Israelite school of UPK won't debate Islam on. Nothing? Not its originality, not its laws, not its purpose. What about who it's for? What people it's for? Right. Nothing? So you telling me in this room nobody believes there's nothing that we wouldn't debate Islam on? Name me one thing, name me one topic or one thing that the Israelite School of UPK would not debate Christians on. Nothing? You get my point. But how many of your Christian pastors run from our debates? Right. How many of your fathers have ran from our conversation? Your grandfathers ran from our conversation. You understand why? Because for them to stand tall in this truth, they couldn't be what? They couldn't be sheep. They couldn't be. They had to stand bold as a lion. Right. So to stand tall in this truth, they would have to stand as lion. But every religious leader that we have, we think that the way to gain the members or the way to gain the multitude is to be as weak as a sheep. Not in the Israelite School of UPK. We take the sheep and we also take the lion. We also take the wolves. We also take the ships. We take the nation of Israel for what it is. And we take all of us and we mold us together into one nation so that we can live. So now back to the brother's question. Those raven and wolves are your fake Israelite groups. They are your Christian pastors. Why? Because they are going one fold that taught them who the truth was. You can't be in a fake Israelite group. You can't, like, it doesn't make sense. Does anyone, let me ask you a question. Who knows how the 12 tribe chart came about? Who knows how I got here? This is a question. I can't wait for the day that I have like 100 fake, and I can ask this question: who knows how the 12 tribe chart came here? You from Judah? You say you from Levi, Manasseh, or Naphtali, or Gad, or Benjamin, or whatever. Who knows how it got here? Go ahead.
Sloppy, sir. I'm not sure the brother's name, but a brother from the school was given the vision of the 12 tribes and who they were.
Yaquab.
Okay. Come on, sir.
Yaquab worked on the elevator shaft, right? And Yaquab fell down about 3 stories on the elevator shaft. And when he fell, he broke his legs, both of them, to the point where he could not walk. And for about 3 years, he was on PT, physical therapy. And so for 3 years, Yaquab was studying the records. He eventually started having visions of where these people were, where Manasseh was, where Gad was, where Simeon was. And as he started having these records, he started passing on to the men above him, Ariah, Tazadakia. He started passing them up. And they started taking what he said and studying it. And they started studying and studying and studying and studying. And as they studied, they found out that what Yaquab said was absolutely. The Venezuelans were not the Manassites. The Venezuelans were not the Manassites. I'm losing it. Or were they the Manassites? I think they may have been the Manassites. If not mistaken, they were the Manassites, right? And in the scripture and in the scriptures it says that their foot will be dipped in oil, right? And if you look up today, who has the most oil on the face of the planet Earth, you would think it's the Middle East. But if you look it up, who is it? Who has the most oil on the face of the planet Earth? China? Nope. Brother?
Like I said, that's like.
I ain't gonna let you off that easy. Let's get off that easy. Who has the most oil on the face of the planet Earth? It's in the scriptures. Everybody got it? I don't know. Give me it's the Asherite. Dude, give me Deuteronomy 30 and 24. Yeah, start at verse 23. Yeah, 33 and 23. And of Naphtali, he said. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4.
33.
33 and 23.
Uh-huh.
And of Naphtali, he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with favor, full of the blessings of the Lord, possesses thou the west and the south.
So that's where Naphtali, they land, right? Keep going.
Verse 24. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed children, and let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil.
Let him dip his foot in oil. I want someone to Google what has the most oil. Remember, Asher is the Venezuelans. That's who the Venezuelans are. What country has the most oil? Venezuela. Venezuela holds the largest oil reserves globally with over 300 billion barrels, mainly located in Orinoco belt, southern end of Eastern Orinoco River Basin. When I read that for the first time, I was astonished because my whole life, I thought that the oil was in the Middle East. I thought everyone was in Afghan and Iraq and Arabia and Iraq fighting for the oil, just to find out that Venezuela has the most oil. The Bible says that Asher, which are the Venezuelans, would dip their feet in oil, meaning what? That the land that they're in, when they walked, would be dipped in oil. Everything they walk on is oil. Everywhere they walk. Because everything, I mean, I gotta say more. You understand? Everything they walk. But yet we were lied to. We was lied to about the Venezuelans. We were lied to about Asher. You understand? Is there any more on that scripture?
A lot.
Well, what's the next scripture? On the next verse.
Verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Thy shoe shall be iron, brass.
Thy shoe shall be iron and brass. Meaning what? Who knows what that's talking about when it comes to Asher? Iron and brass, meaning that it's heavy. Meaning that they would have all the resources that the world needs, but yet they would never progress. That it's almost like stepping in quicksand.
Look, sir.
Come on.
Got a pen I can borrow.
Yeah, I'm not done. But they would never progress. You understand? When your feet are heavy, you can't move. You can't take steps forward. And their shoes were like iron and brass, which is why Venezuela is going through so much turmoil with their government politicians, right? They're was in favor of keeping the oil in Venezuela. But America is wanting to take the oil from Venezuela, but Venezuelans are not able to do anything about it. Venezuela are not able to do anything about nothing. They can't, because they're the children of Israel. And because they're the children of Israel, their feet are made out of iron and brass, meaning even though they have all the oil in the world, do you understand how important oil is? Oil makes your cars go. It's how your buildings get built. It's how your prisons get built. It's how factories get built. You can't do nothing without oil. They have the most oil in the world, but yet they have no power, and their foot can't move because it's built out of iron and brass. Mm-hmm.
And as thy days, so shall be thy strength. Verse 26.
And as thy days, so shall be thy strength. Meaning, what do they won't be able to do. You understand? I think 26 is just talking about just to run, but so we could drop there, right? So that was just for me. Hold on 1 second. Khan says, I see you on the line. If y'all got any questions online, let's type the questions in the chat. 1 second. Hold on. All right, like, where were we? Questions online. break down to Romans 9 and verse 2. All right. That's what. You give me Romans 9 and 2. Was that scripture? What was it? So, like, what was I going into?
I think it was at the end of 23. The sole of the foot.
Yeah, that was talking about the Venezuelans, right? I need another job so we can get this frankincense and myrrh burning. They ain't show you where the coals were, what, did they?
Last time I said they hadn't.
I ain't no sweat. I bet that's what it is. It might be at my house.
Romans 9 and 4.
9 and 2. They said 9. That's the question you wanted, right? It's like that's what they said 9 and 2. So
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Have great heaviness, continual sorrow, my heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of that.
If that's the, this is about the Israelites, right? And the heaviness and the sorrow that he has in his heart for the Israelites. You could think about adoption and the works that was given to this, which only proved that Hispanics and Native American Indians were allowed the law, were given the law and the glory of the adoption of Christ. Understand the truth. If you had a further question with that, just type it in the chat. But as far as what you pull, that's about it. Just read it, so I ain't gotta go back.
I wish that my curse. My king, according to the flesh.
I would wish myself or for my brother, kinsman, according to Paul, he wished that he never had never got the opportunity to rose for his brother. Meaning, if it meant that his family could, his people could be from the he was in, then he would have sacrificed himself, separated from the man, greatest man on the face, which is Jesus Christ, for his. You understand? Of course, separate yourself from the drug dealer cousin. Of course, the drug dealing friend you have is so much for you to let go of. You understand? But of course, Christ and Paul, he separated himself separated from Christ, saved your life, but your much. Your mother, your auntie, all of those things are just for you to let, so that you could save the lives of thousands and millions of Hispanics and Native American Indians. You'd rather be a friend of some drunk addict, some drug addict, or some drunk, or some alcoholic, some homosexual. You'd rather be friends with them instead of being friends with the men who saved their life for you, man. You understand? And that's what Paul here. Keep going.
Verse 4. To my Israelites.
Who are what?
Israelites.
Israelites. Y'all are Christians. Paul said that he gave his life for Israelites. You call yourself a Christian. You call to be Hispanic or Native Indian, or you call yourself to be Afro-American or African-American. You are nothing but a simple Christian in the Bible. You understand? A Christian is someone who believes they Christ, but doesn't. And that's what you Christians, man. That what you do makes you a child of God. You believe that what people call you. You believe that what you call yourself makes you a child of God. Say, I'm a Christian, child of God. I know it was my heart makes me a Christian. You something to say online. That's what you are. You understand? You sisters, man. You sisters, get it. A lot of you sisters, life is the way that you should live. You think that you so bad, you so pretty, you so beautiful that you can just live a lifestyle of a whore and you can get whatever you want. Let me tell you something. You're not pretty. You good. You're just easy.
Right.
That's all you are. You just easy. Your legs spread in full quarter. Wouldn't put a quarter in. You wouldn't put a quarter in if all you had to do was say you look beautiful. Legs open the door, hotel room, a hotel lobby, around and around, waiting for someone inside. Easy. You're beautiful, but you stop being easy. You would put time. You be beautiful. In other words, getting a BBL is just showing your breast on Instagram too easy. Showing your they calling out IUIC. Showing your bonus hole just too easy. What the fuck is a bonus hole? I ain't ever heard of a bonus hole. Well, I want was the bonus. That was it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about here. The vagina is you want. What the hell on this hole? You keep believing in that Christian nonsense. You keep going to Christian church. You keep going to them Christian functions, worshiping them Christian gods and celebrating holidays, man. You're gonna be trying to figure out as a bonus hole. I still don't see a bonus hole. Y'all keep laughing like, what is it? I really want.
Like I said,
Come on.
it's bonus. So other than your,
I don't know.
that's what it said.
Yeah, I don't know what the.
It's like I said,
My classes is gonna get on YouTube.
It's, you know, the
In person. You ain't go on the East Coast of Carolina. Get here in person. Because my classes will not make YouTube slog you.
Yeah, I'm right.
Come on, our bud.
that's what the LGBT community come up with to, I guess, themselves. I don't know. Nonsense.
Is the most beautiful vagina? That's but you are disgusting. You made a point. I lost my whole point of this whole class because of a damn bonus hole. If you in a Christian church, disgust me. I want you to know that. If you're in a Christian church on the Instagram, you're watching the numbers. On the Instagram, when you go to the Christian, you are a piece of garbage. That's what you are. You're the disgusting piece of garbage because you don't even care to look what you're being taught. You don't even care to look at what is being taught inside of the Christian church. What's being taught inside of the Christian church is hope. And now you subscribe to. That's what you believe in. Moving on. Who are we talking about? All right. Get me back to the scripture. I think it was in Deuteronomy. Imagine. Romans 9:2, right?
9-4 now.
9:4. Come on.
Israelites.
Who are Israelites? Israelites don't believe in bonus hoes. They don't believe that.
Right.
They believe in a woman and a man having sex, and a woman and her birth to a baby who gives birth to a baby who has sex with the opposites, and then babies continuously, so on and so forth. The natural way of life. There's no man on man, woman, no such thing. That's nonsense. Keep going. Who pertained to adoption? What is that referring to here as it pertains to Christ?
The returning back.
It's not. Yes, you're right, but it's a little. I will buy.
Yes, sir. Those Jews who ventured off and made Greek their tongue, they took on Greek customs and other customs. It was they weren't allowed to the law come the Most High.
That's it. Back into Christ. Meaning, imagine if we in this room right now, by the Lord, we decide to go against God. This wrong. The Moabites want us to do. We're doing what the Ishmael do. But one of the side that you understand, we go outside. At the inside when we get another stuff, just die to inside the room to go come back. Christ was that man outside. He died for us so we could be adopted back in, because without Christ did the same thing that Moses to the 3,000 and Exodus 2 to the men who get golden calf, worship Baal. When he called the Levitical kill him, he killed him. That was it. The Lord felt sentiments, had them saying, and the Lord to wipe of Israel. But then started to love his more than himself. Who brothers more than understand that. You do had to love others more than had to love his brothers more. The Lord offered Moses to create a new people, and it's calling them Mosesites. But Moses loved his people who was all here more than would have wanted. Oh, just Mosesites. But Moses rather had, and so you where Christ told you going.
Oh God, and the glory and the covenant, the law,
and the glory and the giving it, right? All pertaining to the native vineyards.
and the service of the Most High.
The Most High, meaning white, or some old, if you some Moabites, that's coming out here teaching the word of God, you wait thinking that you could change, you're going to save the lives of the children of slaves. Like, how are you going to save the life of the children of a slave when you're the slave master? When you're one who enslaved us, white man, you come from a lineage of slave masters. How do you even understand what it means for a woman to braid their rights? How do a woman braid the hair and use the braids maps? Escape. Relate to that. Relate to that. So everything, you are some master. You are nothing that you can teach Hispanics and Native Americans. Nothing. You have to leave that to our people. Oh, why? Because read that part.
And the law.
And the giving of the law. This law was us for us to by the law. And you understand?
And serve God.
A servant is pertaining to a black Hispanic law people. There's nothing more, whoever that question, I hope you answer. Right? I'll on that. Go ahead.
And the
promises. Right? Question. Go in the chat. Let's lock it in the chat. So y'all know the Bible. Y'all know what that means. I'm gonna play Christian. Hey, that's what y'all want. Give me the parable of the sower. Let me find it. Well, the sower, it should be in Matthew.
Matthew 13.
It might be, but I don't know. Matthew 13, he's giving it. I want that. He's breaking it down.
Verse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna research.
Make sure we got it. Go ahead. Well,
13:3. And he in parables.
Mhm.
Behold, a sower went to sow.
Mhm.
And when he sowed, seeds fell by the wayside.
Some seeds fell by the wayside. So now he's giving this parable to the disciples. And first he's going to give the parable and then he'll explain it later. Right? But I'll explain it. Christ went, not Christ, well, it will be he's. One second. A fourth to sow, verse 4, right? And when he sowed, he fell by the wayside. Mm-hmm.
And the thing and up.
And the what?
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
The birds.
Bird came and devoured them up. What is this talking about?
When a brother sow a seed, when he sowed the seed, some of the seeds fell away, meaning some of the seeds didn't move in the truth, fell out of the truth.
Anything else?
And I he totally destroyed them.
On it. He don't. Just a little bit more. Right? About a wayside. Side is what? The wayside is English for the street, the road. The fowl devoured them, meaning these got eaten. It's not your. The fowl what? It says. It's not your. Not. Fowls is what? The fowls is your mother. That's the fowls. The fowls is your brother. It's your friends. It's anyone who comes in and says, why are you looking at that Israelite camp? Why are you looking at them? That's the black KKK. That's a hate group. You should all when you go to camp. And you speak, right? You speaking, Christ was a black man. Revelation chapter 13, in a Daniel 5 verse 7, according to blah, 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 blah. Understand? and you reading and you speaking the truth, and you'll occasionally find that one brother who comes and he's walking, stop. And do this here. And then you'll see that right man says, you don't say it's just, or that one, and then you know it's, and then walk off. He got the gonna find the heirs. You tell the you the club, hey sis, you understand what sex is in the Isupk school at UPK. She goes home parents. This man, and about it before. Of course, her parents cult. You don't need to be in that. I'm not that. I'm not allowed no cult. You better block his number right now. It's like 1,000. She gets powered up. She's in truth, but she sees the truth and it entices her, but she allows the force around to take her out or to take her before she's ever.
This is verse 4. And when some seeds fell by the wayside.
Some seeds fell by the wayside.
And the fowls came and devoured them up.
In the what?
And devoured them up.
Keep going.
Verse 5. Some fell upon stone where not much earth. And they sprung up.
Some of the seeds. Now, this is what you got to understand. All of these seeds are people. So you coming into the truth, you are going to see these seeds. You'll see the people that look left and right to you. You're going to yourself and understand that you one of these seeds. Every last, all of the room, I'm specifically, all of the room are one of these seeds. You understand? Read that part one more time.
And so, upon places, it had not earth, and for which up, because they had no deepness of earth.
So now these seeds, they fell while the farmer, he was throwing out seeds, right? He's going in his bag, he's throwing out seeds, tossing them. Some fell by the wayside, some fell on the road, but some fell on the stony places, meaning they landed on rocks. And as they started to grow, they had no roots for them to sprout up, meaning their nutrients got cut off. Meaning what? That these seeds, they got cut off from the truth because they didn't want to suffer for the truth. Or so like not suffer for the truth, but they didn't have enough grounding in the truth to stand for the truth. Meaning what? They seen the school, they seen the camp, they seen the classes, they came in and they said, man, I love this. This is beautiful. Look at the lion. Look at the 1969. Look at the Lashawan Quadash. Look at the TV. The We Was Warriors. I love the truth. They love the truth, right? But they didn't want to be hated by the truth. And what I mean by that is that when those seeds started to grow and they started to sprout, eventually the sun starts to blaze on them vines or them fruits or the growth of that seed. And they get burnt out. And that is the hatred that comes with being in the truth. It's the hatred that comes with being Awabad, that comes with being Yaramak, that comes with being Hawan or Nadiyab or Captain Aithak or Commander Jana. When your family starts to hate you because you're here. And so now when you leave, you don't wear your shield. Now, when you a sister, you in the truth, you take out your bio wife of Officer Abad. You take that out your bio because you don't want to have to fight to hold the truth. You don't want to have to fight. Why? Why is it that you wouldn't want to fight? Brother?
Lock it, sir, because you wasn't grounded in there.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand. You damn right. Because that seed landed on rocks. That seed wasn't allowed enough time to ground itself into the earth. Ground yourself by coming to class, by watching the lectures, so that when them Christian pastors say, "What about John 3:16, brother? Brother, John 3:16, sister." You ain't sitting there. Damn. For God so loved the world. I don't know how I'm going to stand in front of all these 20 people and say that we're supposed to be Israelites when the brother said, John, allow yourself time to grow in the truth. Allow yourself time to get deeply rooted so that when your cousin comes to you and say, your man got multiple wives, you a fool. You could turn around and say, but only a fool doesn't has a husband.
Come on, sir.
And you can look her in her eye and say, but I have a husband. Right. I got a man who can call if I need help. Where's yours? Where's your man? You have to allow yourself to be grounded in the truth. You have to allow yourself to be deeply rooted in the truth so that you can bow to, which is why troopers are not allowed to debate the Bible. They're not allowed to teach, pass the officer's test, because if you don't, you are not allowing yourself enough time to prepare yourself and to arm yourself to fight against the things that's going to fight against you. Keep reading.
Well, I don't want to come, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And when the sun was up,
mm-hmm.
they were scorched.
Mm-hmm.
And because they had no root,
mm-hmm.
they withered away.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, you had no nutrients from the bottom, no water from your foundation to keep you healthy, to keep you in this truth. And you got withered and ripped apart. You got cut in the truth. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And some fell upon thorns.
And some fell upon the thorns. Keep going.
And the thorns sprung up
mm-hmm.
and choked them.
And now these seeds, these people, they fall on thorns. They love the truth. They see it. They love everything. And they don't necessarily care about what people think about them. They grow up. Keep going. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Could you use this to people for people that's in fake Israelite groups, sir? They're among thorns and spirits, sir.
You could, but I wouldn't. If you want to fake scripture, I'll give it to you. All right. You could though, but this I'll break it down. Right. Just keep reading. Or let me keep breaking it down. Matter of fact, I will buy. 1 second, I need you. I need you to take the seat. Break down. This breakdown is F&I 2-1 real quick, or something else. But I gotta take this. So Salakia. So just like obviously Armat was saying, those fake Israelites, they're one of these seeds, but they're not that seed. They come into the truth. Well, they don't even come into the truth because but those Israelites. Let me see if I can get a scripture. Those Israelites left, and
They left for a reason. You pull me the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. They left ISUPK and started their own Israelite group or whatever the Christian group that you want to call them, but they're not in the truth. They might say that they're in the truth. They might think they're in the truth. They're not in the truth. The only brothers in the truth are the brothers in the ISUPK started under Commander General Slovakia, under Commander General Young. Let me know when you got that. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. So for the brothers and sisters to understand that you people are with you because they do what? They stay with you. You know the brothers around you are going to be there for you because they are around you in your time of need, time of trouble. They don't leave when it gets rough. They don't leave when stuff starts to hurt. They're there. And if they're not there, it was never there from the beginning. They were what?
They were sloppy, sir.
Go ahead.
Seeds thrown on stony ground.
You got that?
The 2nd John, right, sir?
1 John.
1 John 2 and 19, sir.
All right.
All right, got you. This,
I was just pulling you can read it. Pull a fake Israelite scripture. 1 John 2 and 19.
this is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
They went out from us,
Uh-huh.
but they were not of us.
They were not of us. So these other fake Israelite groups that left in 1995, when they went and created the House of David, right? And they started calling Marshall King David, right? They left the Israelite school of UPK. They left One West, right? They went out from us. Keep going.
For they had been of us,
Mm-hmm.
they would have no doubt have continued with us.
They would have no doubt continued with us, meaning even to this day, the House of David with Marshall died and they elected him King David. They said that Marshall was King David reincarnated in the flesh. Marshall was King David reincarnated in the flesh. If they really believed it, then they would have found his son, his eldest born, and they would have elected him king over the House of David, and they didn't do that. Of course, they didn't do it. You know why they didn't do it? Because they never believed that Marshall was King David in the first place. That's right. They never did. You understand? And so that's these fake Israelite groups in its totality. Give me what is it? It's John. Let me see. Not Joe. Hold on. Very.
Did you want me to finish that in 1 John?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 19, 19. They went out from us,
Mm-hmm.
but they were not of us.
Mm-hmm.
For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
Mm-hmm.
But and that they might be manifested that they were not of us.
That they may be manifested, they were not of us. Like, what is that? What is that talking about? Them being manifest? That they manifest. It's John 10 and 9. What does it mean that they wanted to be manifest? What does Bishop name want to be? Christian pastor. What does it mean? Nobody? Does it mean they want to be manifest? Your Christian leader.
It's lucky, sir.
Come on.
They want to be in charge.
Yeah. They want to be in charge, or they want to be the man who is in everyone's eye. They want to be the man that everyone sees, so that they can lead everyone to where they want them to be led. That's what it manifests, to be clear or obvious in the eye or mind. That's what manifest means, right? Come on.
Sorry, I got the blue letter definition for that.
Come on.
It's G5319. Says to make manifest or visible or known what or unknown, to manifest whether by words or deeds or in any other way.
Right. Which means to be clear or obvious in the eye or mind. Right? They want to be the man that's seen. They want to be the man that's followed. And the man that's followed is the man who gets what? The money.
Right. The
man who gets the power. The man who gets the reverence. And if they're not being followed, they can't get the power. Which is why what? Which is why IUIC is about followers. It's about how many men they can attract. It's about how many men they can get to come into their school. It's about the numbers, because it isn't about the Lord.
Right.
Commander Junior Hanna doesn't give a fuck about being manifested. He doesn't. I don't care about being manifested. I love this Isupk Goldsboro school. I love it with my heart.
That's right.
I love this little room with you two brothers.
Right.
With you two brothers who both of you is not even supposed to be here. One of you is supposed to be in Fayetteville, the other one's supposed to be in Durham, and this is supposed to be all the way in fucking Philadelphia. And I love this school with my very heart. I don't care if this school is filled. I don't give the damn.
Right.
If this school is packed out, man, you need a bigger building, man. Your word is just so powerful. I don't give a fuck, because Commander Junior Hanna doesn't give a damn.
That's right.
And Christ didn't give a damn. If the word is that so damn powerful that it needs to be outside, then sit outside. Who cares? I'm not going to make you wear purple and then get on a plane and go to Africa. All right. The truth is the truth. You understand? You understand? And none of us is here to be made manifest. None of us is here to get glory of men, or to be the next T.D. Jakes, or the next or Martin Luther King. All of us are here to serve the Lord.
Right.
And so who is actually should be manifest? The Lord should be, man.
That's right.
You understand? So them fake Israelites, they are doing this. Israelite group that was started in 2013 or 2020, which is out here. Right? Keep going.
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I got John.
Yeah, 10.
Go on, sir. This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I am the door.
Mm-hmm.
By me.
So like it. Start at verse 1.
Come on.
This is the scripture I say for your fake Israelite group.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entered not by the door into the sheepfold. Verily,
verily, I say unto you, he that enters not by the door into the fold. Keep going.
But climbing up some other way. The same is a thief and a robber.
So he don't enter in this way. Remember, fake Israelites say that we truth.
Right.
We all can come together. But the scripture says something different. That there is one way that's supposed to be walked into, but then there's another way that he climbed up some other way, right? And he considers him the same as a thief, as a robber. Keep going.
So verse 2. But he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
But he that entereth by the door is a shepherd of the sheep. Who is this talking about? Come on.
Is it referring to Christ?
Nope. Who is it talking about? This may be kind of tricky. It's talking about you. It's talking about you. Christ entered that door. He is the door.
Right.
You're the one who enters into the door. You're the one who put on all black. You're the one who follows God's statutes and commandments. You're the one who doesn't believe in beating up your brothers.
Right.
For whatever fucking reason. I'm waiting on that. You're the one who doesn't shoot trannies in the face or teaches that you can divorce your woman because she doesn't believe in your doctrine. You're the one who follows the law. Keep going.
So I'm going. So verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
To him that poured it open,
Mm-hmm.
and the sheep heard his voice,
Mm-hmm.
and he called his own sheep by name, and leaded them out.
And he leaded them out. I will buy it. Young man Lorenzo, Sister Shay. He lead them out, man.
Right.
You follow him. Keep going.
Come on, sir. This is verse 4. And when for his own sheep,
Mm-hmm.
he goes before them,
Mm-hmm.
and the sheep follow him,
Mm-hmm.
for they know his voice.
For they know his voice. Meaning what? He sent his sheep into the world.
That's right.
I will buy you go work at that goddamn chicken factory, whatever. You go work there. They ain't gonna bring you to no goddamn Christmas party because Captain Ithak put forth his own sheep.
Right.
Captain Ithak. Aramat came out here in Goldsboro alone, and I ain't about to be in no damn Christmas party.
That's right.
I ain't in no Halloween party, no Thanksgiving party, because I belong to Captain Ithak. And Captain Ithak didn't raise me to be in no damn Christmas party or no damn 4th of July or no damn New Year's Eve or New Year's or Valentine's Day or whatever the fuck. So like it. Again, this clip this gonna be clipped. I got a bad mouth on me, so like it. You understand? But Captain Ithak raised his men up, and Commander General Yohana raised him up. And Christ raises all up. That we wouldn't follow the ways of the world, and we wouldn't fall victim to these things that wants to beguile us. Keep going.
Come on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And when he put it forth his own sheep
Mm-hmm.
and go before them,
Mm-hmm.
his sheep follow him,
Mm-hmm.
for they know his voice.
Yeah, we follow Commander General Yohana. Keep going.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And a stranger would not follow him,
Mm-hmm.
but will flee from him.
A stranger won't follow him. They won't listen to Commander General Yohana. They won't listen to Captain Ithak. They won't listen to the class tonight. They'll flee from him. They go, man. You understand? Keep going.
For they know not the voice of strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
This parable spake Jesus unto them,
Mm-hmm.
but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them.
So now they didn't understand what he's talking about. Right? Read verse 7.
Come on, sir. Then Jesus said unto them again,
Mm-hmm.
Verily, verily, I say,
Mm-hmm.
I am the door of the sheep.
Now, he said, but he that entered but he that enters in by the door is a shepherd of the sheep. Remember what I said, right? He said that I am the door of the sheep. You understand? I am the way. Keep going.
All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them.
All that ever came before me, all the sheep did not hear them. What does that mean? What are you talking about? That the sheep didn't hear them thieves and them robbers. What are you talking about, sir? Come on.
Basically saying like that since he is the door, whoever came into that place before him didn't use the door. And because the sheep only hears the man that is the door.
Mm-hmm. You own it, and a little bit more, right? Remember, just think about a farmhouse. Sheep is the nation of Israel. That's the power. That's the glory. That's the resources. And Christ is the door that them sheep have to go through. But yet, you being a thief and a robber, not wanting to be the sheep, wanting to interrupt some other way. You came some other way, but the sheep did not hear you. Meaning you taught that a man can only have one wife. You came and you taught that a man was supposed to worship Buddha or supposed to worship Allah or supposed to worship you while you beat your members half to death, Captain Hosea, the Israelite of IUIC. You taught that you were supposed to be homosexual or that all camps was, but somehow come together of Apollos and Paul, which is, if you some Israelite, you believe that this call, that's about a 3-minute breakdown of Apollos and Paul. Dumb. It's the dumbest I've ever heard. That's what they taught. But Christ is saying this. Even though you went and you taught what you taught, the sheep is the one that God wants.
That's right.
And the men and the women that God's want, they didn't hear that. They didn't hear that monogamy BS.
Right.
They didn't hear that purple BS. They didn't hear it. They're not listening to you talking about you can have sex with a woman at 12 years old.
Right.
They ignored that. They didn't hear it. They waited for the man that came through the doorway.
That's right.
They looked for the door to find out who was God's anointed so that they can be saved. And that man is Commander General Yohanan of the Israelite School EPK. That's who they waited for. And how knew? Because they knew that Christ left through that same doorway, which is in the scriptures.
Right.
Christ left out the same doorway he came. And if you ain't coming to the same door, meaning this, if you ain't following the same laws, if you ain't living the same lifestyle, if you ain't got the same spirit, then that man who came through that door, then how could you be that man? How could you? How could you be the same man on representative of when you come through a door? It's a doorway that's filled with homosexuals. That's a doorway filled with drug dealers. That's a doorway filled with effeminate men. How could you? You can't, because Christ ain't came through that doorway, and that's in the scriptures. It's in the Old Testament and it's in the New Testament of that door that Christ came through. So what door are you coming through? It's narrow. It's a narrow way and a narrow path. Broad be there. The broad is Salakia. Many be there that be at the path that's broad, but few be there that is the way of that is the narrow path. So what doorway you came through? You came through the broad doorway, where everybody could be in. You in IUIC, you can have sex with transgenders. You can kill your own people. You can, just beat a nigga up if you want to. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You in GMS, you can just rape women at 12 years old and have sex with white women. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You an individualite, you can break the law of brotherhood. A lot of you individualites disgust me, man, because you think that you're doing something that's important. Right. You think you're doing something because you following the law. Following, man. What laws you following by yourself? Right. It's some fake Israelite group by yourself. That's right. Or you an individualite. What laws you following holding the Passover? In the comfort of your living room, man. You know how many people had to struggle, had to fight from the UK, from the Virgin Islands, right, from other nations to get to the Passover this year in North Carolina. Had to every year to make it there while you holding a Passover in your house. What fight is that? Nothing. There ain't no fight. But you, because you some individual like, man, you ain't doing nothing, man. How you doing something if you don't know our bond? If you don't know what he going through? If you don't know young man Lorenzo and what he going through? You don't know Mahayar and Tabawan and Lahab and Yanazar and all the brothers in the school. What are you doing? You ain't nothing, man. Christ wasn't no individual life. Christ ain't teach Paul to teach himself so Paul can have a good life. Paul ain't or Barnabas so that they could just have a good life. Paul and Barnabas and Peter and all of them taught the people so that they could come together, man, so that they can learn with each other. They can have a good life together as a nation of people. But here you are. It's some fake Israelite group, man. going up some different way, climbing up some. You're gonna find the truth by looking on YouTube. That's not how you find the truth, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. I don't give a damn about these breakdowns. I never did. Me, Officer Yarmark, Officer 1000 Yarmark, I can give a fuck about these goddamn breakdowns. I don't care. I do this because I have to. Because my office says that I have to be here and teach these classes. Tell you what, Commander General Yohana told me that we was going to worship robots tomorrow, and guess what? I worship robots. You know why? Because this brotherhood is more important than me than these breakdowns.
Yeah, right.
This brotherhood, you are more important than me than these damn breakdowns. But them fake Israelites that let a little breakdown because they disagree, because they thought something a little different, they allowed that to make them leave the body. Me, that won't let me leave. You know who does that? Women do that. You be surprised. Well, maybe she doesn't agree. I'm gonna come to you. Maybe she doesn't agree, huh? You so scared, you so mad because a woman left you? She left you. You Commander General Yohana.
That's right.
What you mad at a woman for? You didn't agree with One West. You didn't agree with the Israelite School of UPK and their doctrine. You thought we were too rough. You didn't like the Hebrew Academy and how strong they had to be. You didn't like it. You wanted us to be a little bit more weak. You didn't want us to have to fight each other, and you didn't like it. And so you had to leave. Right. But then you don't like your woman because she left for a nigga who fights.
Right.
You didn't like that? What the fuck are we talking about? What brotherhood do you have? Right. I would never leave the truth, huh? I could never leave Commander General Yohana. I don't give a damn what the hell he starts teaching. Now you can like it or not. You can say, oh, them brothers don't break the breakdowns down. I don't give a F. You can down every breakdown you can break down, and I would never join you and leave Commander General Yohana. Right. Now, on top of all of that, I'm right and you're still wrong? I'll bring it out. Come on.
Like I was gonna say, the truth because of much polygamy.
Much polygamy, man. Much polygamy. Because we have a lot of wives. Because I have multiple women. You will leave the truth. Because I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,000 women. You will leave the truth. No sweat. Finish reading this scripture. I'm gonna get this other one real quick.
I want to come. So this is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I am the
By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved. Meaning you got to come through this door. The only way to be saved is you got to come through Christ. And the only way to come through Christ is by coming through the Israelite School of UPK. That's it. The scripture saying Revelations chapter of Israel. Meaning at some point, through all the lies, the earth was allowed to come back into our lives. And that was in 1969 on 1 West 125th Street. You understand? And today under Commander General Yohana. Them 7 heads, Ariel, Tazadak, Marshall, Bib, all of them brothers, Yaquab, all of them brothers who found the truth and brought it back for us and created the Israelite School of UPK in 1969. That was then. And you want to go and create whatever you want to go create. You're not in the truth. And let me tell you something. I said it last night. I'm going to say it one more time just so they understand. Just so you get it. If you were some fake Israelite, right? Meaning you're not in the Israelite school and you wear fringes. And let's say you don't smoke weed. You don't smoke weed. You don't sleep with white women. But let's say you occasionally, celebrate the new moon day. You are not my brother.
That's right.
I hope you understand that. I hope you understand. So you don't have to ever ask yourself, doesn't ISUPK go to with me? Why doesn't ISUPK come congregate with me? I hope you understand that, because you're not my brother, which is why I don't congregate with you. And you would say, well, that's evil. That's unlawful. Well, let me ask you this. Was it unlawful when Moses killed 3,000 of his own men because they Oh no, it wasn't. Because separation was the only love that he could have ever given to the children of Israel at that time. And in this time, separation only love that we can give to you fake Israelites. Because when we say that we are not affiliated with you, you question yourself as to why we're not. And when you start to look at why we're not affiliated with you, you realize how many children you've molested. You realize how many smoked, how many drugs you've done, how many people you've beat up. You realize all of the wicked things that you've done, and then you'll say, well, you know what? That's why we're not affiliated with the Israelite School of UPK. That's why. And if you wanted to be affiliated with us, or be with us rather, then you would change your life. You understand? Keep reading.
Sir. Verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
By me, if any man, he shall be saved. Keep going.
And go in and out. And find pastures. Verse 10. The thief cometh not.
The thief cometh not. Keep going.
But to steal and kill.
But to steal and kill.
And destroy.
And destroy. You understand? A thief cometh not, but to steal and kill and destroy. Them fake Israelite groups, they come to steal the glory of the Most High. How? Because they weren't there when Jenna Yohana sleeping in that basement. They weren't there with Yaquab and Ariyah and Tazadak and Marshall. They weren't there, but Commander Jenna Yohana was.
Right.
And now they come to steal the glory of calling themselves Israel. They come and steal the glory of calling themselves Israelites when they weren't there. They're not center block walls right now, but yet they want to say that you were Israelite. It's sisters in here that have to deal with their husband having multiple women, more than one. The sisters in here, let me tell you how strong the sisters in here. The sisters in here, they don't live their life as if, oh, this isn't biblical times. This isn't 1,000 years ago. Would have more. These is here. They live in 2023. They pay a phone bill, electric bill, and water bill, and their man has more than one wife. They do it. They do it, and they suffer that. So you think a sister in here is going to suffer that, and then friend some bitch that has a problem with her man having another wife, and considers her to be a wife? Hell no. Hell no. You think she gonna be up in Walmart being buddy with some bitch when she says, oh, I'm in IUIC, but my man only has one wife, and I only allow him to have one wife? You think that the sister here is standing up for that? No. Nah. You know why? Because the sister in here has suffered as much as the Lord has.
Right.
You understand? And IUIC, they don't suffer nothing. They don't suffer anything. They don't suffer giving to the poor. They don't do it. They don't even suffer their own members not having jobs. You be a part of IUIC without having a job. You don't believe? Go try it. Go to IUIC. I'm not telling you to do it, but ask them. Go to IUIC as a woman and say, "Oh, yeah, I want to find God." Say you don't have a job. You can't join. They're going to tell you have to have a job first. They don't suffer you to not have a job. In the Israelite School of UPK, we suffer you to be poor and living under a bridge. We suffer you so that we have to pay your bills. You understand? Pay your fines, pay your debts, pay everything for you so that you can be a brother to us and not have to go to jail because you didn't pay the court. We do that in the Israelite School of UPK. the same way Christ did it. Because if Christ didn't pay our debts, we would all be dead. There wouldn't be no court. There wouldn't be no fines that you have to pay. It wouldn't be no dowries you have to pay. It'd just be us being dead. But Christ paid that debt. But them fake Israelites, they don't want to pay that because they don't suffer to be with us. Keep going.
I am come that they might have life.
I am come that they might have life. Like I said, we don't hate IUIC. We don't hate GMS. We don't hate none of you. Hell, we don't hate TD Jakes. We don't hate you. You understand? We wish that you would live. We'd rather you repent and come and serve the Lord. Keep going.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
And that they might have it more abundantly.
That they may have life more abundantly. TD Jake think he has life now. Imagine if TD Jake used his reputation to teach the truth. Can you imagine that, Ak? Can you imagine the men that he would have? All the men he thinks he hates. TD Jakes believes that he has men in his congregation because he looks in the crowd and he sees faces and humans of men who looks like they have rods in between their pants, in between their legs. And so now he believes that he has men because he sees women and then he sees humans that look like they have rods, which are men. Imagine if TD Jakes was a man of the Lord who served the Lord and had the rank that Christ had before him. Not Christ being, of course, being the king, but the rank of men, meaning that he worked to gain the rank of being a trooper, to being an officer of 50, to be an officer of 500, to being a 1,000, to 5,000, the captain of 10,000, 13,000, the 12 shield, 13 shield general. And imagine, he wouldn't just have men on. He would then have men that would die for him. He would have men that would give his life for him. He would have sisters that would serve him, that would follow God because of him. TD Jakes doesn't have that. All he has is a bunch of IUIC members who claim to love God and claim third and so forth. That's all he has. But in the Israelite school of UPK, when you look to your left and your right, and when you look behind you, and when you look in front of you, you have men that would absolutely give their life for you because that's all that is allowed in here. That's it. We don't have brothers that whoop each other's behind because someone left the truth. We don't have men that send wrong pics to each other. We don't have sisters or men that pose as sisters and do all kinds of deviant things to each other. We don't have that in the Israelite school of UPK. We have men that'll die for each other. I told you before, I told you last night how comfortable I was being in the truth. If I was in IUIC, I would be pretty uncomfortable by now. Captain, your girl, so heavy metal, most time, Conor McCann, sir. Conor McCann. You understand? Where we at?
So this is verse 11.
Come on.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep.
The good shepherd giveth life for the sheep, man. Y'all all know what this is talking about, right? Y'all know what this is talking about. Question. Any other questions? We got a little bit of time. Questions online. I was about to say, I'm about to play Christian.
I got a question, but I don't know if it's I'm just unfair.
Go ahead, I'm about to say.
So we know that the law has been around since the beginning of time. A law of who you can and can't marry. So is it safe to say that Adam and Eve were kin?
Yes. Adam and Eve were a family. They were cousins, which is why all of us are family to this day, right? We come from the same bloodline. We come from the same norms. But remember, when Adam's rib was cut open and then closed, it was the spiritual aspect with that was that we would no longer sleep with our family members, but you do sleep with your family member, if that makes sense. You understand? Like, even if we go to the club tonight and you find another woman who is an Israelite, and she says, yeah, I'm from Detroit, well, I'm from California, but her father is black, you have sex with her, she is your family member, which is why our women, black women, or Mexican or Latino women, and Native Indian women are our what? Sisters. Good night.
Oh,
They are still our sister,
right.
because we technically we are still family. I mean, even if you want to get more technical with it, even the so-called white man and heathens, we go up and 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 up. We all still come from Adam and Eve, so we're still family. You understand? But as far as our family, the Lord separated us from from Esau and Jacob, and the Jacob and Israelites, of course, are our family. So, yeah, Adam and Eve were absolutely family members, 100%. You understand? But the Lord was trying to choose from the same stock, right? He didn't want to choose from a different stock, because Adam and Eve were the best stock that the Lord can choose. And so he chose them to become family, which is why the Lord had to put a deep sleep on him to have him sleep with his cousin, right? You cannot sleep with your cousin today, okay? You understand that? You cannot sleep with your cousin. You cannot, don't ruin your family reunions. You understand? Just be normal. That's it. Just get us. If you that die in need of getting a woman, if you in my zone, call me. You understand? There's many women out here. Just come to the club. Understand? Next question. John 3:16. John 3:16. Hold on now.
Verse 17.
Hmm?
For God sent.
What is it talking about? God so loved the world. I'm a Christian. All right. God so loved the world. All right. Y'all teach that God doesn't love everybody. But the Bible say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. What is this talking about?
Lock it, sir.
Go ahead.
It's referring to Christ loving the world of Israel.
What's that mean? I mean, because Israel, like Christ, love everybody, right?
La, sir.
La. So what are you saying?
I mean, I can prove, like, so I can prove God doesn't.
I'm a Christian. I'm playing Christian right now, so I'm a Christian pastor. Come on.
Like John 3, chapter 16, it says, for God so loved the world. When he says God loved the world, he's speaking of not the entire world, because the word world has different meanings, right? And one of the meanings of world is a group or society with the same belief.
Yes, right. Yes.
So it said he loved the world of Israel, that he gave his only begotten son, meaning he sent Christ to die for that world.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
So I don't have a whole breakdown on scripture. So
And no sweat, right? You want to go to John chapter 3 and verse 1. Right? You want to go to the beginning. You want to get the context of who John was talking to.
when we read that, sir,
Come.
I don't want to come. This book, John chapter 3 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
There were a certain man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
Who else was the Pharisee that was very prevalent in the Bible, specifically in the New Testament?
Like, sir.
Paul. Paul was also a Pharisee. Paul's father was also a Pharisee. You understand? So now here we are with Nicodemus, who is a Pharisee. Keep going.
The Jew.
He was the ruler of the Jews. So this is a conversation between a previous Pharisee named Paul and a current Pharisee named Nicodemus. 16, it reads, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? So what it's talking about?
According to verse 1, so it's talking about Nicodemus. Salaki, sir. It's talking about Christ sending his son for the nation of Jews, because Nicodemus was a ruler of the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a man of the Pharisees, which is an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a ruler of the Jews. So the topic is the tribe of Judah, sir.
Don't get stuck on the tribe of Judah, right? Consider the Jews Israel at this point. All right, this is who he's talking to. This is who he's talking about. And the point of me saying that the tribe of these are Israelites is that they're not, right? This is who he's talking about. Go to Judges 6 and 8. I'm gonna move pretty fast because we're getting ready to go and we gotta get up here on time. Bob, I need your help. Give me Jeremiah 23 and 2. I will buy it. Actually, do I need Jeremiah 15 and 31? I will buy it. All right, read Judges.
Going on, come. So this is the book of Judges, chapter 6 and verse. Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So remember, when you speaking in John 3 and 1, when it says that there's a Pharisee named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews, Paul and Nicodemus was talking about the Jews, right? The Jews are the nation of Israel. This nation of Israel is the one that was brought out of bondage from Egypt, right? We read Matthew 15.
Oh, the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 31. And so much that the multitude wondered when they saw to speak, the maimed to be whole, and the lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they glorified the Most High of Israel.
So now they glorify the Most High of Israel, right? This is the God that we're speaking of, right? This is who we're talking about now. For time's sake, give me John chapter 17 and verse 9. Someone give me 1 John chapter 2 and verse 10. So we're talking about the Israelites. That's what we first have to understand, is that conversation between Nicodemus And Paul is talking about the Israelites and the Israelites only. I'm supposed to be playing Christian. Go ahead. Whoever got a John 17:9.
Come on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of John, chapter 17 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I pray for them.
I pray for them. Keep
Pray not for the world.
pray not for the world. What is it talking about? Is it saying? What is John saying here?
It's a lot, sir.
Come on.
He said, I pray for them, referring to the Jews, which are the 12 tribes.
You can say that here. Come on. Pray not for the world. What is that talking about?
Meaning he's not praying for the entirety of the world, meaning everybody on the world, in
Mm-hmm.
the world, but he praying, which are the Jews.
I got to stop you there, right? World means age or society. So you're saying the entirety of the world as if the world means earth. The earth and the world are two separate things. Like right now, little do you know, all of you are in my, all of you. You're inside of my class that I run, that you have no idea how I run it. You don't know in my house.
Right.
All right. All of you on top of that are in the world of Goldsboro, Snow Hill. On top of that, you're in the world of North Carolina's world, whatever Virginia or New York or California or, whatever, Georgia wants to do world, it's different. You understand? So you playing by their rules. This world is different than any other world. And this is the world, you understand, in John 3:16 that God loves, right? So read it one more time. So he said, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, right? So go ahead, read that part one time.
I pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
I pray not.
Who is them that he prays for? Because if John 3:16 says he sent his only begotten son for the world, and that's a contradiction. Who is he praying for? He prays for them that have separated themselves from the world. You understand? Those who are not doing the things of the world. The Lord has never loved the whole earth. He's never done it. You understand? Right now, the Lord doesn't love the whole earth. Since the beginning of time, he has never loved the whole earth, which is why he flooded it during the time of Noah. It was hellfire, rainfire, and brimstone to rain on this earth because he does not love the earth. Right. He departed the Red Sea. He caused natural destruction on this earth because he doesn't love it. Every tornado, every hurricane, every tsunami, every earthquake that he caused is because he doesn't love it. Right. If he loved it, there would be no earthquake, no tornado, no tsunami. There wouldn't be one. He does not love this earth. So the world that he's talking about that the Lord loved, which is in 2nd Ezra, which is what he's referring to. He was referring to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. If he loved this earth, then he wouldn't be destroying it. But the society that he is destroying is the in which blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are not enslaved under. Right. That is what he's describing. It is what he's talking about. Love when black people are servants or enforced under servitude under other nations. How do you know? Because you can go to 2nd Ezra. You can read it. You understand? You can go to where 2nd Ezra said, behold, these other nations have began to become who these other nations who have ever been reputed as nothing have began to be what's the word? Undevourers, but come on.
I think it says have become lords
over us, right? They have become lords over us. Those who have ever been reputed as nothing. That is what this is talking about. You understand? But John is saying, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. I mean, he prays for the people who follow Christ. Keep going.
Go on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
For them that thou hast given me, for they are thine. Keep going.
And all mine are thine. And thine are mine.
And thine are mine, meaning those who follow me are yours, and those who follow you are mine. Because they're one. It doesn't change. You understand? I will buy.
You said 1 Peter?
1 John 2 and verse 15.
No, God, it's the book of 1 John.
Says you have something?
Chapter 2.
You had 19, what, 19? And what? In John 2nd, what? Go ahead and read it.
Verse 19.
Read it.
They are out from us, but we're not of us.
No, we read that one already.
We do.
Yeah. Go ahead and read it out, bud.
Oh, God, it's 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world.
Love not the world. Don't love what's in the world. Understand? Don't love what the world have to offer you. What's comfortable in the world with the drugs and the societal norms and the love the world has to offer you. Don't love that. Keep going.
Oh, God. These are the things that are in the world.
These are the things that are in the world. The women, how easy the women are. How understand how attractive this life is, and the drug dealing and the sports and this is everything. Nothing wrong with playing the sport, but everything that goes against God in this world is so attractive for you that it'll have you celebrating Christmas and July 4th. 4th of July and Thanksgiving and Halloween and so on and so forth. Keep going.
Oh, God. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. What that mean? Sis?
We're not following Christ. If you love the other worldly things.
Give me an example.
The holidays. Celebrating.
If you celebrate, why can't you love God if you celebrate the 4th of July?
It's not in the word.
You said it, young man.
It's like
Y'all both said it, right? Because these holidays and that we will be celebrating it's not in the Bible. You understand? It's not in the word, and so because of that, the Lord hates it. Because we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas and holidays that are not of the Lord. You understand? Keep going.
Go on. Verse 16. Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father.
The pride of life is not the Father. You understand what that means? In fact, give me James 4:4 real quick. Simply all the time.
It's like ye adulterers and adulteress.
Adulteress and you adulteress. What is that? Remember, verse says, ye ask, receive not, because ye ask that ye come upon your lust. Right? Ye adulteress, you adulterers and you adulteress, you men and you women, who commit adultery against the Lord. You serve other gods. You build up a golden calf. Right? You celebrate holidays and birthdays and the 4th of July. Right? Keep going.
Oh, God. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High?
Know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Your love for this world, your love to smoke weed, your love to smoke vape pens and be a homosexual and to be a gangbanger and a drug dealer and to be in some fake Israelite group or some Christian church or some Muslim mosque. Your love for this world, your love to do things that go against God. Why? Why do you love it? Because it's easy to do. It's easy to be a drug dealer. It's to be a gang member and to put a fucking vape pen to your lips. It's so easy to do it. And you love it. You hate being a brother. You hate having to drive and to only see 3 brothers. I'm pretty sure you would love to have to drive and see 100. Be better, wouldn't it? It'd be so much more work to have to drive to some country town. And if you drive to, I was about to tell me, I mean, if you have to drive to some country town, wouldn't you rather see 100 men? Wouldn't you? You meant like he was agreeing with me. I'd rather see 100 women. You understand? If I was you, I'd rather see 100 women marching right to my bedroom. You understand? I'd rather see that. But if you're in some fake purple Israelite group, you'd rather drive to see 100 men saying, ooh, yeah, you'd rather see that. But it's so hard to get rid of the ways of the world. You care about numbers. You care about how many men are with you. You care, like, I love the fact that there's only 3 brothers in here. I love it. I wish Dylan Stone Roof would try to run in here. I wish he would. He would get stopped by 3 men. We would have all the glory in the earth. That 3 men stood against a mighty tyrant named Dylan Stone Roof, and he was not allowed to prevail against 3 men. Just like IUIC was not allowed to prevail against the Kansas City 4. They thought that was going to be the end of the Kansas City 4. After they was attacked by 30 homosexuals, they went out the next week to speak against 30 homosexuals. The next week with the same Kansas City 4. The young men, the trooper who was with them, came back out with them again. You understand that? Shout out, give that trooper a hand. Give him a hand for standing with them. Give him a hand. Whatever his name is. I don't even know. I don't even know if he was a trooper. I think he was a young man at the time. He was a young man at the time, and now he's a trooper at school. He stood with them. He stood with them more than your woman stood with you, IUIC. Right. In IUIC, your woman seen that you took 30 men to go 4 men, and your women is in the inbox of every ISUBK member you can ever find. They in here trying to find every man that they can get that'll accept them. However, we don't accept a lot of bitches, but some of them might slip through. So, that's a joke. That's a joke. If you married, we can't marry you. Stay with the man you got. Here's your best bet. Tell the man that you have to stop being in a fake Israelite group and to get rid of the world and to actually love the truth. Right. To come into the Israelite school of UPK under command and learn how to be a man. You understand? Can you read it?
Mm-hmm. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enmity of the Most High.
You're a friend of the world. You're an enmity of the Most High. You wonder why the Israelite school of UPK is against you. What did King David say? He loved what the Lord loves, and he hate what the Lord hates. Well, you against the Lord, and you worshiping all them Africans. Yeah, I seen a video that almost made me piss my pants. I mean, I didn't think. I hate it. I hate saying it because it's Israelite at this point is such a blanket statement that any homosexual can just consider himself an Israelite. In Ghana, and he taught that the people who was listening to him in Ghana, who didn't even understand what he was saying, were the Israelites that the Bible spoke of. Now, y'all may not understand this, right? Because there's many countries, there's 56 different countries, countries in Africa. But you may not understand this. Ghana is one of the few countries that American colonists, before they took us into slavery, was allowed to use slave castles for. Meaning, on the coast of Ghana, there are humongous slave castles that were built on the coast From the slave castles, you could see the water, the ocean. And on that coast, you could see the slave castles that they use to capture us and to hold us until our ships came so that they can send us to America. And so now IUIC is on that same inland of Ghana teaching that the Ghanaians, the Guyanese, are the same people that they sold into slavery. That is the world. If you wear purple, you are in the world.
Right.
If you wear purple, you are not in the truth. You're in a Guyanese slave cap program. That's what you are. And the only difference about what you're doing today is that you're not capturing Israelites. Let me give you a hint in case you didn't get it. In case you wear purple, and in case you don't get it, you may not understand it. And for those who listen, because I know IUIC watches these classes, and I understand. I get it. 200 years ago, white people came to Ghana to capture black people, Israelites, for indentured servitude. And then they turn it into slavery so that they can work to better the nation of America. Well, if you in IUIC, if your camp is in Ghana and you're setting up camps, growing uneducated, idiot, buffoon Africans who don't know anything, I'm gonna talk for you. Let's walk with me for a second. Because how the hell you don't think they know anything? Blah, 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 blah. Shut your Christian mouth. Let's walk with me. Why do I say Guyanese don't know anything? Why do I say Africans don't know anything? Let me see. When it comes to world, what list is Africa on that list?
It's a lot. I don't even think they will be on there.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Whenever you bought a pencil or a t-shirt or a chair or some paint or maybe a flyer or a poster board or maybe a laptop, maybe a phone, maybe a light switch or a light bulb or a toaster, a microwave, never said made in Africa. Never? Nobody? Oh. It looked like to me Africans. Looks like to me Africans they're free. As South Africans are free to do whatever they want to do. Sierra Leoneans are free. Ethiopians are free to do what they want to do. It sounds like they're not smart. Here's what you're doing when you really go over there to Ghana. Instead of enslaving Israelites, you're enslaving dumb Africans so that you can make your numbers look mightier. That's all you're doing. You're taking dumb Africans, putting them in Israelite IUIC slavery so that they can go in some street corner in which they're not allowed to say anything bad about IUIC. Them Africans can't say nothing about you raping their daughter. They can't say nothing about it because they have to sign an NDA. They have to sign a non-disclosure agreement so that you don't about when their daughter or about when they killed Joe Morgan. You have to sign it. And so now what they have, they got a bunch of Africans that don't know nothing anyway. You think the Africans know the truth? Black people have been searching for the truth since the 40s. Marcus Garvey, the Black Panther movement, the Nation of Islam, We've been searching for the truth since the 40s. Africans have been searching for rice. So now you take the money, she started laughing. Yeah, I'm being dead serious. You take the money that you get from poor black people in America, poor Israelites in America, you take it to Africa and you give it to them. And of course, they serve you because you give them rice, because you give them money. And obviously, let's say Christ was black. That's all that you do when you're in school that you pay. You're just a bunch of slave masters for Africans. You're not in the truth. You're not as strong as our Bar. You're not as strong as young man Lorenzo. You're not as strong as Sister Shay. You're not as strong as Commander Jenny Hanna in the Israelite school at UPK, man. You're not. And you need to get some strength. And the only way to get some strength is by coming to the Israelite school. So I will buy. Go ahead and clap it up. We're gonna edit that. You come up on this side.
With ISUPK, start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Yohana. New rules for brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. At the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi 3, verse 8, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny and any increase the Lord gives you to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, I believe it is this weekend, which is Feast of First Fruits. Remind Akim and I to check social media such as ISUPK, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, he is to start with shirt, scarf, and pants. And with that, men of Israel Majim, I'm going to render courtesy salute to the teacher. Sisters, be seated. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah,
Yanamatah, sorry, face the sisters. Imagine, a rare courtesy salute to the sisters and of Israel. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak,
Yahweh Shemal Atah Hashem Yahushua. Alta, Hashem, Yahushua.
Y'all know talk. Class is missed.